Hello and welcome back to the Get Off the Wall podcast, where I help you get off the wall and start making money online. In this episode, we are going to talk about me. No, I'm kidding. We are going to talk about all of these books back here, why I have these books, and how these books, any books really, can help you grow a successful online business. So in the past few weeks, I have purchased all of these books. I'm not sure how many books there are, but I purchased all these books for various reasons. And let me just tell you a little bit of a backstory about how this came to be. Growing up, I was a straight C student. I was very close to being a C minus student. And yeah, no, I was not a very good student. And I wasn't a good student because, at least my mom will tell me, I wasn't a very good student because I wasn't smart. It was simply that I didn't apply to myself. It was so bad. I was such a poor student that I was on the basketball team, and my mom actually went to the head coach and said, he is not going to dress for games until he gets better grades. And imagine how devastating that was, and embarrassing, simply because I would practice all week. And when the games came, there were games on Tuesdays and Fridays. I wouldn't dress for the games. I wasn't even allowed to go to the games, and people would talk and all of that stuff. But so for me to tell my mom a few weeks ago that I am back to reading, she was amazed. She was surprised. And I even told her, I said, if I had told you 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 months ago, that I'm an avid reader now, she would fall out of her chair. And I told her that while we were at lunch about a week ago, and she was astonished. But yes, I am reading these books. A few of them I'm reading at multiple at a time. And there's a number of reasons why. If you are in search of something, a great place to go is reading a book. A lot of these books are marketing books. There's a few YouTube books. There's even a church book in here somewhere, but the church book is more about building a community. Books can help you bridge a gap that you're experiencing. If you, let's say you're in the basket weaving space and you want to become a better basket weaver, there's a book out there that has packaged up years of experience, and you can use that knowledge and experience to help you get to a different place. I actually have a few more books in the car. So I'm going to talk about when I read, about how much I read, because I'm not this speed reader that just goes through books. But if you look at these books, a lot of these books are on marketing. And it's funny that I use a lot of these books as content ideas for my TikTok videos. So believe it or not, if you've seen some of my shorts, my YouTube shorts, not my shorts, but if you've looked at, if you've seen a lot of my TikTok videos and shorts, a lot of the ideas came from, some of them came from this book, Start With Why. Some of them have come from a lot of these No BS books by Dan Kennedy, because he has taken his years of knowledge and experience and packaged them up and offered them to the world. It's a great way to get content ideas. It's a great way to shift thinking. Now, as a course creator, I think courses are great, okay? Oftentimes, I know, at least with me, when I take a course, and I've purchased a lot of courses, they tell me, it almost makes me think about things the way that they're thinking about things. However, when you buy a book, you can kind of think about things differently. You know, you can use your imagination to help you apply things in a different way. So, for starters, I'm not this, speed reader that reads a ton of books, but I think that if you are stuck in your business and, you're looking for ways to get to the next level, if you're stuck when it comes to content creation, because quite frankly, I create a lot of content. If you look at my TikTok, I can upload 10 videos per day, and that takes a lot out of you content wise. However, if you find a book that's in your niche or in your space, that can actually help you. Okay. And there's always going to be roadblocks and stuff like that. But, a simple book, I'm trying to find it real quick. A simple book like Magnetic Marketing, I can take pieces from that book and I can start a YouTube video, a TikTok video about it, and then I can apply it to affiliate marketing or whatever I'm talking about at that time. And you can do this too. You can do this with whatever space or whatever niche that you're in. And the other thing that happens is when you read these books, one very interesting thing that happens is when you read these books will refer to other books that you have to buy. For example, this Alex Hormozi book, he talks about Dan Kennedy a lot. Okay, and when you talk about the Dan Kennedy book, you then go and you look at the books that he's talking about, and then he'll reference a book. And again, you can go back to kind of like the foundations and the originators of all of this content. So what you'll find if you ever pick up a marketing book, they will reference Dan Kennedy. So Speak to Sell. And then Dan Kennedy will reference another one of his books where he's talking about something else. But what you'll find in a lot of newer books is they're referencing the same person. And you can go back to that person and find out all of the tips and tricks and tactics that they're using, and you can apply them right to your business. So what I recommend, if you're thinking about starting a business in a certain space, go pick up a book by someone that's already done it and someone that's already been wildly successful, and read that book and see if it's something that you want to do. Okay, if there's a book out there, if you're interested in drop shipping, we'll say, if you're interested in drop shipping, go out and find a book on someone that has done a really, really, really good, has been really successful when it comes to drop shipping. Read that book and see if you can apply what they talk about in that book. See if it's something that you want to do and you feel comfortable doing over a long period of time, because to get a clear understanding of the business and the business function, that book is going to lay it out. But as you can see here, I've got a ton of these books, and I think I've got a couple books coming in, and it's all to give me content ideas, because it's much easier to it's much easier for me to come up with content ideas. Also, it's also to get better at my craft. If you feel like you've plateaued somewhere and you don't know why you plateaued in your business, or maybe relationships or life or whatever it is, go ahead and go pick up a book. Now I guarantee you sometime throughout this little podcast, because this isn't going to be long, that these books will fall over. Okay, and what you'll find, like I said, is basically everybody references the same one or two people as inspiration. I know Alex Hormozi did. I know that a lot of these books reference the same people. So yeah, that's a little bit about my origin story, I guess. I was not a great student. I could remember sometimes I would go to class and I would just fall asleep, and I don't know if it was I was too tired from playing video games the night before, if I felt like the teacher wasn't inspiring the student, because I think a part of it is kids get bored when there's a lack of inspiration, and there's a lack of the teacher, students can sense, people can sense when you're just there because you have to be. It's funny. Marshawn Lynch or Rasheed Wallace just used to say, "I'm just here so I won't get fined." And I think people, and you can extend this to your business, I think people can do the same thing. People see that you are just creating content just to create content, and maybe you're not there to actually help them. And if you're struggling in your business, if you're struggling in your relationships, that could be a reason why, where people just feel like you're only there because you have to be, and not necessarily because you want to be. So my recommendation to you is to get a few books, read through them, and analyze, take a look and how you can apply these books. Now, I would go through. Now, I'm afraid to touch these books because I know that if I take one off the top, the whole thing's going to come crumbling down. But I wanted to show you. I want to open up that magnetic marketing and show you that everything that you learned today when it comes to sales funnels and marketing and social media comes from that book. And that book is at least maybe 20, 30 years old. And it's from Dan Kennedy. If you've heard of Russell Brunson, and if you've heard of some of the large marketing people out there, they are all using that book to create content, to create funnels, to do all sorts of stuff. And it's much easier to go to the source and not be distilled at all. when it comes to business. So yeah, that's I think everybody should. I think everybody should pick up a book now and again. I believe it or not, I would have never said that 3 years ago to go out and read a little bit. Now let's talk about how and when I do it. I read my books while I'm sitting in drop off and pickup line during in the morning where I'm dropping my kids off at school. You'll see me with a highlighter and you'll see me trying to read a book during those 2 times. I've got plenty of time to read during those times. And also if the book is good and I really want to finish it and I want to start applying the techniques, and that's the other thing about a book, and I'll talk about that in a moment. I'll also stay up about an hour or 2 at night and get more of the book knocked out to start applying it. But one thing that's really important when it comes to the book is actually applying it. Okay, people will say, "Hey, I read a book a week," but if you're not actually applying it and you're just reading it to read it, then it's worthless. You can do the exact same thing on YouTube. You have to apply the principles that you pick up, apply the principles that you learn in the book. And you can see a dramatic shift in your business once you start applying them. Like right now, I have a book about YouTube in the car that I'm going to start applying. There's a step-by-step process that you can apply for YouTube to get better results. Obviously, the whole purpose of reading these books is to get better results, to improve my skill set. What I'll do too, actually, you know what? Why don't I do this? I'm going to kind of just run through the books real quick so that you can, if you want to go pick them up, you can. Start with Why is a really good one. There's actually another book too, this one called Find Your Why by the same guy. This is an actual book. This is a workbook to help you find your why. So that's a good companion piece there. Speak to Sell, story brand, building a story brand. This actually I talk a lot about the Moana Sequence, and this does a very good job of explaining it. Now, when I talk about the Moana Sequence, you, in general, in order to sell people, you have to tell a story. With Disney princesses and with Moana, they all start off life very good, and then they run into some hurdle. With Moana, her hurdle was that she felt like she needed to be out in the ocean. The ocean kept calling her, in fact. And it took for her grandma to pass away and die for her to finally get out into the ocean. But once she gets to the ocean, she runs into more trials and tribulations. And she has to overcome those trials. And ultimately, she realizes that she's the leader. She completes the journey and she gets the result. And, the story brand is actually is helpful with that. Magnetic marketing is really good at getting better at marketing. It talks about the core foundations of building a funnel and all of that stuff. And it also talks about social media too, before social media was social media. So you can see kind of the origins. Alex Hormozy talks about making unique offers. So instead of being like everyone else, you have to do things to make the offers unique. That's a good book. Let's see, another one. Let's see. A couple books. This is Marketing by Seth Godin, Godin, is another good book. Yeah, so I haven't gone through all of these books, but you can look at these books for yourself and pick up the ones that you need and pick up the ones that apply to you and your niche. I recommend that everybody get a marketing book, not just a book on affiliate marketing. If your goal is to make money with affiliate marketing, go pick up a book on marketing, because it's going to help you understand what marketing is and how you can apply it to your business. But yeah, so this is what I do. It looks pretty crazy. I have a few more books lying around here somewhere, but the goal is to read and apply. And I think that you'll see a change. You'll see an instant change in your business once you start reading and applying what you've learned. So coming up this week, one thing that I am going to talk about, I'm going to push. I actually put together a blueprint here. You might see an ad for it. This is a workbook, not a blueprint. This is a workbook that will help you make your first 1K with affiliate marketing. So if you're interested in something like that, this is a low price book that will actually walk you through workbook that will help you. It's got spaces for you to enter in information. You basically will read through this and you will be in the best position possible to make your first 1K with affiliate marketing. If there are topics that you want me to cover in the podcast, I will have podcast guests soon. I've reached out to a number of people, and it's a little challenging to, kind of herd people and get people going in the direction you need them to go. The invitation is still open. If you want to be on the podcast, I welcome you to it. I want to just talk to people, because for me, the best stories that I have come out when I talk to people. I oftentimes don't remember stories in the moment, but I can remember stories during a conversation. So if you want to be on the podcast, let me know. Send me a message, reply to this video, and then you can be the next guest on the podcast. And it doesn't matter if you have 1 million subscribers or hundreds of subscribers. In fact, most of the people that I've interviewed don't have millions of subscribers. They're all small content creators that are doing well in their business. And if you're a drop shipper, if you're, survey taker, any online business that you have and you want to talk about it, hop on and I'd be happy to speak with you about it. So I don't even know what episode this is. Thanks for watching, guys. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time.